And we are now live. What's going on, everybody? Joining in on the best fantasy football podcast right after Thursday night football. What's going on? You're tuned into the Fantasy Couch podcast. I'm Hussein the Brain, for most of you that do know me and don't know me. Joined with Mike Mattal, and we just opened up a Patreon.
Yes, finally.
We did it.
Woo!
We got one Patreon, not
Heyo.
including you, which is good.
Shout him out.
Vince, I privately messaged him on Patreon, and he was just very, he's just thankful that he could support us. So we got tons of requests to open up a Patreon, very adamantly by 4 people. So I fully expect you 4, at least, right? A minimum of 4 people to join this week. You guys got to join. You 4 wanted it. We brought it to you. And we offered some perks. We don't want to just give you a Patreon page without any perks. So what are we offering? My weekly waivers, the written form. So as I'm typing it, you'll be able to see it live on my doc. And the same thing with the DFS picks. You'll be able to see my full complete notes, not just what I do for the video. And you'll get access to our 2008 videos from the special vault. Might upload some of those videos we deleted too. Some of the
those are racy.
Yeah, some of the cringy, crazy stuff.
Cringy. Hilarious though.
And that's what we're gonna put on the Patreon. Yeah, so if guys want to check it out. By the way, somebody messaged me today. They're like, isn't Patreon for just girls that take off clothes? And I was like, no, it's to support creators. I was like, well, I know what type of creators you're into now, but no, it's for any type of creator, including those girls. Yes, but it's basically anybody, any big creators basically on Patreon, and just a great way to support us and help us keep doing what we're doing and help us expand and keep doing it better, keep doing more. So yeah, it's in the description. It's patreon.com/fantasycouch. A little bit of self-promotion there. Also like to thank our sponsors, Monkey Knife Fight. Thank you for sponsoring us, keeping the dream alive. Well, how about that Thursday night football game, guys? I think we're done talking about that, huh? A little bit of Dan Bailey went off.
Dan Bailey, the boot.
Yeah, I thought he'd do well. He did very well. So that was pretty good. And Dalvin Cook did exactly what we thought he'd do. And that was pretty much it. Then we saw Dwayne Haskins at the end. A little bit of extra spice at the end. Wasn't good.
Was that a Dan Snyder special, drafting Haskins? He was very adamant about it.
He probably called in that. He probably opened up the concussion tent himself.
Oh, man. But AP, I thought it was going to be an AP revenge game, but he's old now, everyone. But we had some great memories out there with AP. He used to be the top fantasy running back for several years, so salute to AP.
He actually played well. I thought he'd do absolutely nothing against the Vikings.
Me too. I dropped him, actually.
So he did better than I thought. But in fantasy, he's not really relevant. He needs touchdowns. He's not a pass catcher. We play PPR. Times have changed. 10 years ago, he was amazing. And it's just not the same. Jorge says it's snooze fest for the Thursday night football game.
Always.
Yeah, this one was. We knew this. We knew what this was good. This is exactly what we thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something I think more exciting. That was a lot of boring stuff there. Thursday night football is boring. I'm very excited about the Emmanuel Sanders trade, actually, and I think it's a trade that everyone's getting wrong, and especially I want to talk about this. It's not a bow session, but a lot of people came up to me, and I know people that haven't come up to me. I know what's happened. I've inspired a lot of people, and me and Mike have inspired a lot of people. We were trailblazers as far as Fantasy Couch and social media, It was my thing. We did, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter. We're one of the first on all of those, and inspired a whole slew of people coming in. And man, it's just been awesome, and also inspired some crazy ideas, such as the Let's Draft. Filming myself draft with a face cam.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think we'd be here if it wasn't for Matthew Berry. I think he started this job, right? This job kind of wouldn't exist. Or it would
Talented
be
Mr. Roto.
It would be a
That was his
different
original name.
type of job, huh? It would be more like an Excel spreadsheet. Like it wouldn't be like an entertainment / host. It just would, the job really wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be, at least it would be far less glamorous and far less popular. And yeah, just want to shout out Matthew Berry, and he's awesome. He's definitely someone I respect a lot, but I think he got one thing wrong. I think he got this Emmanuel Sanders trade wrong, along with everyone else. So people are saying Sanders' value goes down. He goes to the Niners because it's a run-heavy team. I just completely disagree, because I'm an Emmanuel Sanders owner. I think his value gets a slight boost. What's the right word? Like, it's not a lot, but it's significant, but it's not a lot. Like, so he's gonna get a boost. I was happy as a Sanders owner, not just as a Niner fan.
Me too.
Because he was like a guy with no ceiling anymore. He was just a guy who was like, should I bench him this week? Like, every week I was like, should I bench him? Should I bench him? Like, I probably should.
It was a tough call. Definitely a tough call.
Because it obviously was that he passed the torch to Sutton. Sutton was the fantasy guy to start there in Denver, and he will be, of course. But now Sanders gets a slight boost because he is going to be the wide receiver for the Niners. Like, they got a great trade. What was it, a third and a fourth?
And a fifth. They traded third and a fourth.
And they got Sanders in a fifth.
Correct.
Great trade for a team that's undefeated, ready to make a Super Bowl run, or at least go deep in the playoffs. That's what they're thinking. And, man, I'm just so happy as a Sanders owner.
Well, the rumors also behind the scenes is that against the Titans last week, he refused to go back into the game. Like, he basically quit on the team. He was unhappy with the direction that they were going on offense. So, it was inevitable that this was going to happen. And, Elway pulled the trigger, and this is what happened. And the Niners are going to benefit. And I also think that Sanders, he goes from basically a wide receiver 3 to now, the top option on the Niners. So he has to be elevated, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think Jorge in the live chat is over-analyzing it. He says Jimmy G has more upside than Flacco. I think that's over-analysis.
Sure.
I think Jimmy G is better than Flacco, period.
Yes.
He's got a higher floor, higher ups. Flacco's one of the worst quarterbacks. Whether you're talking real life or his career or fantasy or to his team, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, it just wasn't working there for whatever reason. And there's way more upside now that he's on the Niners. I'll probably want to bench him this first week, let him get acclimated to the team.
I'm starting him.
You're starting him? You have
starting
to?
Him. In one league and benching him in another.
Okay, so you need a wide receiver in that league.
I do.
Yeah, so I'm telling most people to bench him because it's like, hey, let him get acclimated. But, they traded for him to be the number 1 wide receiver. Super stoked to see what can happen. All the players that I've talked to, all the NFL players I've talked to, absolutely love to play for Shanahan. If they're not, they want to play for Shanahan. Like, it's one of those coaches that you just love to play for. Amazing offensive mind. It's just super fun. It's always a fun environment. You never know who's going to go off. So Sanders is super stoked. And I think that's why I want to focus more on that one. I'm more excited about that one than the Sanu, because everyone knows, like, when the Patriots do something, you just automatically give them a check mark because they usually know what they're doing. They have screwed up a few times, but, like, when they screw up, it's usually for, like, for cheap, like they can afford it, or like they cut the guy. Yeah, like AB, like they didn't even trade for him. They just signed him for cheap. Even Ocho Cinco and all these other players, like, they just got him for cheap anyway. Sometimes it doesn't work, but they gave a lot for Sanu, and so a second rounder for Sanu, he has to be heavily used, right? Like they're gonna really try to. He should be the number 2 wide receiver there, right?
Well, they were saying that N'Keal Harry, the rookie that's coming off IR, is going to basically take over the Josh Gordon role, the X wideout in that offense. So does that mean Sanu is going to be in the slot or Edelman?
Edelman
Or are they gonna
usually plays slot still.
So what's the other one? The other receiver besides the X in the slot? That's what Sanu is going to be, I guess.
The
Whatever Philip Dorsett was playing has been
that's
playing.
who that's what. Yeah, well, I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be used a lot. Like they're not trading a second rounder for Sanu. Obviously, I want both. If any one of those guys is available, I'd want both of them on my team, both benches this week, and then I'm planning.
Who do you
on
think is
starting
better? Who would you rather have, Sanders or Sanu rest of the season?
Sanders.
Me too.
Because then now you got a Patriots wide receiver.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So
honestly.
it's like, other than Edelman, like we've all been screwed by the Patriots one way or another. I don't know which way you guys have been screwed, but I know Mike's been screwed a couple ways. I've been screwed a couple ways. Some people screwed more than a few ways. And what happened to you last year? Chris Hogan, huh? You got a Chris Hogan?
Chris Hogan, yeah.
Tried to warn you.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
And
So.
I had
and then also I drafted Gronk last year, and that was bad.
Oh, yeah, that was the worst.
Oh, man. That was horrible.
Yeah. And, of course, the running backs always screw us. Like, ever since...
I drafted Rex Burkhead, too.
Oh, God, yeah. Ever since... Is it Corey Dillon? Ever since him,
yeah.
like, they have had, like, stud running backs throughout the entire year, but it has only been 1 year, though, too. So, like, whether it was Stephen Ridley, he was only there 1 year.
Stephen Ridley.
It was a 1 year, yeah. And then and people still drafted him like 5 years later on the Jets. Like that's how like enamored we are by these Patriot players.
Dion Lewis,
super stud 1 year. Like
now he's like non-existent now. It's funny.
Now Derrick Henry won't even invite him to his house. Like
doesn't want to be taking pictures with him either.
He's like, "Who? I gotta go."
Whose kid is this?
He's like, "Get out of here." Yeah, it's gone so crazy. Chris Hogan, remember that guy? Like
what happened to him?
He's on the Jaguars.
Oh my, he fell so
He's like
far.
The 8th string wide receiver. This is just what I've heard weeks ago. Maybe now I don't know where he's now. I haven't been looking at Chris Hogan news recently, so he could have elevated or gone down, or I don't know. He might move to Canada. I don't know what happened to him.
The only Pats position group that thrives is the quarterbacks. Jimmy G, Jacoby Brissett, obviously Brady. So those are the only guys that flourish in the Pats offense.
I was supposed to put up these guys' pictures. That's Emmanuel Sanders in a Niners jersey. Mohamed Sanu meme. Mohamed Sanu went to bed 1-6 and woke up 7-0.
Wow.
I like it. What else are the memes telling us? The memes are telling us that Julio Jones is very angry. He's a little bit sad, but very angry. Do you think?
Can he get paid, though? I mean...
Yeah, but he wants a Super Bowl, too. You want both, right?
Can't have both, buddy.
You got to have the cake and eat a ring, too, whatever. No, he can't
have both. The peach cobbler and eat it, too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay. But both these guys got to be happy.
Who?
Sanu and Sanders.
Oh yeah, they're very happy.
One's got one's got 1 win, one's got 2 wins. I'm telling you, Broncos going for Trevor Lawrence, that long-term sneaky tank.
They could both end up in the Super Bowl against each other as well.
Oh, what are you talking about? The
Sanders and Sanu.
Oh yeah, Sanders and Sanu in the Super Bowl.
That would be the ultimate full circle trade.
Yeah, that would be crazy. What's up with the softy David Johnson, says Albie. I don't think he's going to play.
He's not playing.
They just signed 2 running backs. I think fantasy owners would start to take these to the like. I'm not condoning any type of behavior, but I think fantasy owners would try to take this to some extremes if they did something again like they did last week. And I heard the Arizona Cardinals, I didn't check this, so I might not be wrong. Like, source is not confirmed, but pretty much the Cardinals trolled us fantasy owners by saying you should have started Chase Edmonds.
They said that on
I think
Twitter?
they said that.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, come on. Don't worry. I had Chase Edmonds on my bench. Don't worry. Like, I just, when you said David Johnson's good to go, I was like, yeah, I'm not starting Chase Edmonds. Jeez.
Although I will defend at least the coach, Cliff Kingsbury. He's like, yes, I used to play fantasy. It's a great game, but we had to look out for, David Johnson's health, basically. He said that. So at least he acknowledged that.
Yeah, I mean, what is he gonna do? He's just trying to win the game. You don't really.
But at least he acknowledged our feelings. As a former fantasy football player himself, it kind of made me feel a little bit better.
I see what you're saying. It doesn't make me feel any better because you probably don't own Chase Edmonds on your bench.
I don't.
You know me. I got him like in 3 leagues, all on my bench.
I told my friend to start him over Sanu, and he didn't listen to me.
Oh,
yeah, imagine that.
That was a bold one,
right?
Yeah.
I was like, trust me, start Chase Edmonds, even if David Johnson starts, because he has more upside. And then he panicked and then didn't do it.
Wow. Was he RB? Yeah, he was RB1 last week.
Yeah, for sure RB1 last week, for sure.
I mean, you can't beat over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. How do you beat that?
You can't.
C-Mac was on a bye, so I don't know.
Yeah, C-Mac was on bye.
So I don't know who would surpass him.
Yeah, that was a great performance.
Hey, Couch, what do you think I can get for Darren Waller? I think we'll talk about that.
Just hold your horses, later. Everybody.
All right. What do we do here?
Funny you say that.
Do we have any other
What about Josh Gordon?
topics?
I'm going to touch on that. Josh Gordon?
I'm so tired with Josh Gordon. So he's on IR. And people look, he's worth a stash, but some people are asking if they should use a waiver claim because they dropped him. I'm like, no, don't even. Like, he hasn't done anything.
What if he goes to the Niners too? He could.
Yeah, but he hasn't done anything with the Patriots. I don't think he hasn't done anything in years. He hasn't done anything since that 1 year on the Browns, and that was when Megatron was in his prime. How long was that, dude? That was.
I agree with you. For the record, I dropped him on all my teams, so.
Yeah, and I picked him. I think he's an okay stash, but don't waste a waiver claim on him. Don't waste any FAB on him. Don't drop a real player for him. Whatever. There's plenty of wide receivers. I don't have to worry about. Oh, what if he comes off IR and then he gets waived, then he gets picked up to the Niners, and they're like, what the heck am I gonna do with that? What am I gonna do with that? What am I gonna do with that? Nothing. And then
Germ seems to be optimistic about it.
Well, he's always wrong. So do whatever the opposite he's doing.
Hope he hears this.
No, he won't.
I'm playing him this week in our in our hometown league. I've been talking a lot of trash.
How's his team in that league?
We're fighting. We're 4-3. We're both 4-3.
So his team's better in that league.
Playoffs. No, my team's better.
No, I meant better than in the Couch league.
Yeah, I mean that's a low bar. So yeah, he's definitely more successful than second to last place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do Little Monkey.
Oh wait. Should we talk about the? I was gonna say the Darnold seeing ghosts. We didn't touch on that against the Pats. No, the schedule coming up. Whether we should panic on Darnold after that game.
Well, since you brought it up, yeah, let's talk about it now. Let's. So Darnold seeing ghosts. What do I got? I got one of my memes.
Everyone
here.
saw the clip or the mic'd up, right?
Seeing ghosts. Yeah, someone had to.
Seeing ghosts.
Someone kind of on Twitter was basically saying, how do I say this lightly, that they probably aren't getting it, but he's like, what's the big deal? And I was like, and this is how I responded. I'm very good with dumbing things down and explaining to him. I was like, pretend you're on a plane or a jet, either one, and the pilot You're going through serious turbulence, not like heavy, not like really serious to where, even an experienced flyer like someone like you, Mike, would get a little scared.
I was just on a plane.
Real like the worst turbulence you've ever experienced.
I slept through it.
Okay, this is hypothetical. This is
okay.
What the heck are you talking about?
I don't know.
Pretend you're on a plane.
Oh, pretend. Okay.
Or a jet, whatever, and there's some serious turbulence. Then the pilot goes on the microphone. He says, "Attention, everybody. I'm hallucinating. I think I'm seeing things that aren't there. I'm seeing ghosts." You panic. The pilot, the pilot of the ship, the pilot of the jet, the plane. You know what I mean? This is the guy your lives are in, right? Your future's in, is telling you that he's seeing things that aren't there. That means panic. That means it's not going to happen. It means they're probably Jets fans, Jets team, Jets coaching staff, the front office. That means for at least this week, we're probably not making it alive. It's something bad's going to probably happen. So
that was bad.
It means everyone panic. It's not going well. And so that's how I explained it to this person on Twitter, and they understood what the heck I was saying. So here's a meme I have, and this is actually a play right here, and you can see all the ghosts with the kind of triangular shape. Those are Patriot players, and the kind of oval ghost is the Jet player, and that was the actual play where he lobbed it. Was this interception number 3? I think, I don't know, but
he had like 5, right?
Dude, he was out of control. They were mostly lobs, like just. Booger McFarland, who usually sucks on ESPN, was actually his analysis was on point. I guess he was built for this type of game because when he did the Niners game, his analysis was he's like, Nick Bosa's not athletic, but he's just really doing well. I'm like, shut up, dude. Shut up.
Calm down, Booger.
Yeah, it was just, he's always awful. I was like, this guy's actually giving us good insight to these ghosts, to why Darnold's sucking, this and that. So I don't like Darnold this week necessarily against the Jags.
Horrible matchup.
It's not trust. Like, why would you trust?
No, you can't.
You don't want to trust the spirit. Don't trust the ghost. After this, though, I'm cool with him.
I know. So I was going to say, so obviously everybody knows the Jets' upcoming schedule is one of the softest. They play the Dolphins in week 9, the Giants, Washington, Raiders, Bengals, and then another matchup in week 14 against the Dolphins before any sort of difficulty in week 15 against the Ravens. So that's like a dream next couple weeks as matchups, but I just don't know. I don't know if I can trust Darnold after what I saw.
It's kind of good that you don't see the live chat, and the live chat's okay now, but I'm saying, and you're not on social media a lot, so people have traveled across the world just to come to Fancy Cow social media just to make fun of you. Well, I mean, they're just saying us, but your second half, the little thing. Even when we talked about Kaepernick, the graphic said it said second half sleeper Sam Darnold. So people traveled across all over the internet just to make fun of us. So it's I'm like,
I invite it.
Okay, all right. No, they don't follow us. They probably never heard of us. So people are like, what's this? How can I make fun of these guys? And so, yeah, they're like, this is terrible. I think it's still okay. Actually, I'm being realistic. I think your list is better now.
Isn't it?
Because how cheap you can... Guys, you can.
It's really low. You can buy them really low.
You can cut out 2 holes in in some bed covers and some bed sheets and get Sam Darnold for cheap. That's all it needs.
Real cheap. Yeah.
Some bed sheets with a couple holes. Yeah, you don't even need a real ghost. You don't even need a good Halloween costume. The most corniest, cheapest Halloween costume, Sam Darnold, is yours. His value went way down. You can get him for super cheap. And he's got about a 6 or 7 game stretch here. It's crazy. It's all bad. I remember off the top of my head, he's facing Dolphins twice. He's facing Washington, Giants, Raiders. It's incredible.
Bengals.
6 games in a row like that. Like, come on.
That's why I put all my chips in the Darnold basket, and then I get embarrassed on national television. And I don't think this week's gonna be good either. But then I have to like pray that he will do good against these soft matchups for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, people make fun of us. I get it. But we didn't tell you to start him against the Patriots.
Yeah,
though.
I didn't say that.
We didn't. That's not what we said. We're not saying to start him this week either.
Don't start him. Don't start him.
Well, he could do okay, but not on my team.
Don't.
Well, I just the floor's not there, the trust factor's not there. So we're saying don't. I mean, why would you want to trust that guy? Let him at least. I need him one game without any paranormal activity to prove to me that he's
I want to
okay.
see all the mono out of his system. I want to see the reports from the doctor. His spleen looks huge.
Yeah.
I feel like he's one hit away.
All right, let's do Monkey Knife Fight, then Q&A. So guys, get your questions ready. Get your that's all the ghost emojis. We only have 11 ghost emojis in the live chat.
That's
What's
it?
wrong with you guys?
Whoa.
Shame. I thought you guys were real couch fam. Get some more ghost emojis going, guys. Come on.
More ghosts.
And yeah, let's do some Monkey Knife Fight, then Q&A. So get those questions ready. Get your ghost emojis ready, everybody.
Spooky ghosts like Stan Marsh's dad.
The only thing that would have been funnier is if it was Halloween. Because the memes would have just been out of control. Like, it would
Never too late. It's never too early, actually.
Still was in October. Like, it was still, like, it's still, I mean.
It's great.
It worked out.
Hope we get another good soundbite this week.
All right, guys.
Can only hope.
So our sponsor is Monkey Knife Fight. You can head on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Me and Mike are going to play right now. I did start David Johnson in the touchdown dance, so I don't know if I have any money.
You lost.
Yeah.
You're bankrupt now.
This is so lame. My picks were great, too. And I did another touchdown dance with Dalvin Cook. But I spent all my money on David Johnson. So I did win that. So at least I know I do have money. Okay. At least I have
good.
money.
That's good.
David Johnson didn't drain me completely. Oh, God. All right. This is basketball season. Okay, I got to click on the football icon. So head on over to monkeyknifefight.com or follow the link below in the description. We're going to go to new game or play now. And then let's go to Star Shootout early games. Click on the football icon. We don't want to waste time with that basketball stuff. But they do have basketball.
Oh, nice.
Just
That's
not for
actually
me.
cool. I'll check it
You
out.
want to check it out, Mike. Over,
I'm gonna
under.
check it
It's
out.
all the
I'll
all
check
the
it
same simple stuff. So it's like, who can score more points. Pretty easy. And,
Awesome.
Well, even though David Johnson hurt my feelings, I'm going back to the touchdown dance.
Oh, you are? Okay, I'll go. I'll follow your lead.
Wait,
Do you think
what is
there's any
this?
chance that he goes on IR? They put him on IR. I'm like scared that might happen.
Who? Oh, yeah,
David
there
Johnson.
is a chance.
Yeah. I feel like they're about to like announce it, but they just don't want to hurt our feelings.
Wait, I don't
They're
even.
like, we can't
I
tell
don't
them
like
yet.
this touchdown dance. Can we do the late games? Let me see.
Sure.
It says 2.5. We're going to have to do another game. I can't do that.
All right. So
Star
which game?
Shootout late games. Let's see what it'll say.
Where's the late? Okay. So then you want to do touchdown dance for this?
Let me see. Yeah, let me see. Nope, it's still 2.5. Dang. I don't like it. What do you want to do? Fantasy challenge or
Let's do fantasy challenge. That's
fantasy
fine.
challenge? You guys know
Cool.
fantasy points. All right, fantasy
Yeah.
challenge. Who's going to score the most fantasy points?
Ooh, I'm gonna.
Do you think I want to ask you this anyhow. Do you think C-Mac's going to do well against the Niners? Should I pick him or avoid him?
I think he'll get one touchdown. That's what I think.
I'm going to the early games.
Okay.
Star Shootout early games fantasy challenge.
This is tough.
Let me do this. I'm fine with this.
Wait, who are the Patriots playing again?
Browns.
Okay.
Well, I know I want Chris Carson.
Okay, I got
I
mine.
know I
I got
want
mine.
Saquon.
Oh you have Chris Carson on yours?
I went to the early. I went back to the
Oh,
early.
okay. I'll do the late one. I'll just stay on the late one.
So you're going C-Mac, I take, because that's the only guy there. Chris
There's a
Carson.
couple.
Chris Carson.
Yeah, I have to go C-Mac, huh? I can't not go C-Mac.
Saquon.
Wait, what the? How come I can't? Okay, whatever. I got mine.
Who'd you pick?
So I got C-Mac, Darren Waller, and D-Hop.
I'm going to actually go with Le'Veon Bell.
Whoa, against the Jags. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Dude,
Should I go
tripping,
Chris
dog.
Godwin then?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to go with Bell.
What? Well, you do you. You do you. I'm like you know how you're like against certain players, like you just like hate them, like Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I'm a Le'Veon. I took a hard stance. I'm a Le'Veon Bell, like non-believer.
He's not on a great team.
I know.
I
I'm
think
just saying
he's
a lot of
good.
people are like, oh, he's gonna be good.
I think he's good.
I don't think he's gonna be good. Well, I know that's good. You have your stance.
No, I meant like
and
he's a good player is all I'm saying.
Of course, but I'm just saying he's gonna let you down if you're relying on him in fantasy. That's all I'll say.
Well, at least I don't own him in any of my leagues.
He's a bust. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, guys, head on over to monkeyknifefight.com or follow the link below in the description. Use promo code COUCH when you deposit. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $50. Head on over to monkeyknifefight.com. Use promo code COUCH. Also, really helps support this podcast and the Couch brand.
Yeah. Help us. Play Monkey Knife Fight.
Yeah. And that's
great.
That's
website.
that. What's the next? Oh, Q&A.
Q&A.
How many fans are going to dress up as ghosts the rest of the season when Darnold's away? And is that racist? I'd say I don't like when a bunch of adults dress up as ghosts.
Well, that's the only people that go to football games, so
I think I'm against that. It's too much.
I think if you do green sheets, maybe you might be able to get away with it.
You got to do something that like complete. I get what you're saying. You got to do something that completely separates you from being like a racist. So
yes, that's bad.
That's very bad. Do you think Edmonds will have another great week against the Saints?
Ooh, I was gonna get to that later, but you can go ahead.
Every question here is about Chase Edmonds.
That's true.
So should we just go to the?
Yeah, let's just do buy low, sell high, and then do the Q&A after. That way, we won't have to.
All right, let me see. There's a couple things. Bell is the best running back in the league, just on a bad team. I think that's question.
That's one opinion.
I think that's debatable.
That's definitely debatable.
I think he's a really good running back. I don't know if he's the best, really.
He's definitely not the best. The best is Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's Christian McCaffrey's the best, right?
Or Dalvin Cook.
And I think C-Mac is the best. I mean, C-Mac I think could be on even
Dalvin
a better
Cook
situation.
looked pretty nasty.
Dalvin Cook's great, yeah, and
yeah.
I just don't see how right now you can say that Bell's better than those guys.
There's no way.
C-Mac made some crazy. It was a couple weeks ago. It was just made some insane highlights.
I think he's gonna be MVP. I'll call it right now. He's MVP. As long as he doesn't get injured, he's MVP.
I gave up Edelman and Chase Edmonds for James Conner. I already have Adams, Keenan Allen, and Boyd.
Okay.
I give
a question.
I put the cookie emoji. Just
okay.
I heard someone says
questions.
Someone just wanted that. Yeah. Terrell Williams available. Who should I drop?
That's another one.
Who do I drop? Robbie Anderson, Montgomery, Singletary, or Walton?
Oh, I guess Walton, since he's a Dolphins player, so it's just like horrible upside from a fantasy perspective.
You could drop Robbie Anderson too. They might trade Robbie Anderson.
But see, what if they trade him to a good team? I kind of want to hold on and see.
Give me a situation. Like, what situation would be like? All
right. Maybe Cardinals would be cool.
Yeah, you know what? Just drop Walton because all I'm hoping for with Walton is that Drake gets traded, and then Walton becomes like a RB3. So it's not even that like.
But they're never gonna be running. Like that's never gonna be like in the game flow.
It's yeah. I mean, it is
Bro,
Mark Walton on the Dolphins.
there's no way that's gonna help you. Like, you shouldn't have to rely on that in any format.
If
You're gonna
Le'Veon
lose.
Bell is the best running back, does that mean Mark Walton is the worst? We'll answer that on the next
Uh,
episode. Find out on the next episode of Fantasy Couch Podcast.
Cliffhanger.
Live from Miami. Live from Justin Bieber's third house.
Live from Orlando, ESPN
Oh,
Club.
who was there? Live from Dwayne Bowe's house.
Oh no,
Dwayne Bowe has a
Dwayne
house in
Bowe.
Miami. That guy's crazy.
He's crazy.
Remember, he used to be
He is
really
crazy.
good in fantasy. That was even before
Mhm. Oh,
Josh
he
Gordon.
was.
Yeah, on the
Remember,
Chiefs.
what was that one over the Dwayne
Over
Bow?
the Dwayne Bowe team name. Yeah.
What was it? What was it?
Yeah,
It was like
over the Wayne Bowe.
no, but it was something before that over Dwayne Bow. You know what I mean?
Something over the Wayne Bowe. Well, the
Never
team
mind.
name was just over the Wayne Bowe is how we had it.
Okay, sure.
What are we doing? Buy low, sell high?
We might as well because everyone wants to know these names
No, I
anyway.
got it. I mean, is this what I got? I got it up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
let's
what.
go.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Your favorite segment of the podcast, debatable. Buy low, sell high. So this guy everyone has been talking about lately, and that's Tyrell Williams on the Raiders. So the reason why he's on my list is because he hasn't played since week 4, but before that, he was definitely the wide receiver 1 on the Raiders. He's been dealing with a foot injury, but one good thing is he's had his bye already in week 6. He seems to be healthy, and if he is playing this week, he gets a really good matchup against the Houston Texans, which should be a shootout this week. They're going to be throwing the ball over the place, and Tyrell Williams, he should be the number 1 guy again, assuming he's healthy. Darren Waller has been their number 1 in his absence. He had a huge game. I'll get to him later, but some people have dropped Tyrell Williams in the meantime. And now's a good time to pick him up if you can, or make a trade for him because, he was a solid wide receiver on the Raiders as the number
We
1
just
guy.
seen someone who has him on their waivers
Right.
on in the live
Exactly.
chat. Also, Raiders defense sucks, so they have to
Yes.
throw.
They will be throwing. Carr's going to be slanging it. So this guy, next guy, George Kittle on the Super Bowl bound 49ers.
Whoa.
He's coming off he is coming off his worst game of the season in week 7 against Washington. He was non-existent, and he's actually only had 1 touchdown on the year, which is very surprising, which was in week 5 against the Browns. I just think that the turnaround has to be coming soon. He's too good of a player. I think also now with Sanders in the mix, maybe George Kittle gets open more. He gets more less looks from the defense, and he has a great opportunity at home this week against Carolina. I think they'll be in the red zone a lot. George Kittle should have a touchdown in this game. So if you're one of the people who can trade for Kittle, the owner's trying to trade him away, get George Kittle before he breaks out. Now's the time. And my last buy low is Nick Chubb. And the reason why he's on this list is because he is about to have the worst game of his season this week in week 8 against the Patriots. There's no way that the Patriots are going to let Nick Chubb have a great game against them. It's just not happening. Their defense is too good. I just see a pretty disappointing game where he'll probably get like maybe 10 points. People are going to be low on him. Also, who's coming back? Kareem Hunt is coming back, so a lot of people are expecting that to happen. But even if Kareem comes back, I don't think that he is going to monopolize and take over all the touches from Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb's still their guy. He's a workhorse back, and things will get better starting week 11 against Pittsburgh, and week 12 he has Miami. So if you're one of the people who can get Nick Chubb and their owner wants to trade him away, now is the time to get Nick Chubb.
Just want to tell you guys that most people are the Nick Chubb truthers, whether they traded for him or drafted him. So
Right.
a lot of them don't think that Hunt is gonna really steal a lot of carries, and but there are some. So you find owners that are down on Chubb after this game, and are worried about Kareem Hunt. They do exist because
Yes,
I have
they're out there.
got plenty of questions too. Like, hey, should I be worried? Like, is he gonna get
Oh
touches?
yeah.
Like, so they are out there. I'm just saying, like, they're also the other side is like people who have Nick Chubb in Dynasty just think he's the greatest, and Hunt's not going to do anything. And so there's both sides of the coin. So you just got to find those that are just scared and worried.
Right. Like the people that are worried are mostly like novice players, I've noticed. But they are out there, and novice players, they panic. So I'm sure there are people that are scared that Kareem Hunt's coming back. They don't like the news that he's coming back, and they're like, okay, I gotta sell high. Like this is how, I gotta get rid of Chubb and get something in return before he comes back and loses all his value. I mean, I've thought of it. So if I've thought of it, other people have thought of it as well. Now to my sell highs. So the number one sell high on this list is for obvious reasons, and that's Marvin Jones, who last week went off against the Vikings and Xavier Rhodes, who's supposed to be a stout defense and a great corner. He went off for 4 touchdowns. I don't know how he did it because he was horrible before that. He only had 1 touchdown through 6 games, but then he
I know
exploded.
how. Well, just
How?
Stafford's good, but like a lot of teams, it's not like he's the guy. Like he spreads it around. I seen Hawkinson, I seen Amendola. We even seen just a little bit of J.D. McKissick in the past game. Marv Jones, and of course we seen Galladay. Like it's not. This is what happens to a lot of teams. Marvin Jones is good, but he's not great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So this is sort of similar to the Will Fuller situation a couple weeks back where he had 4 touchdowns and his value was at an all-time high. Marvin Jones right now, it will never be at a higher value point than this week. So, I mean, he has a really good matchup too this week against the Giants. So he should have another good game, back-to-back good games. So if you can get something good for him, and I've seen his name thrown around in a lot of trades this week, now is the time to sell on Marvin Jones before he regresses back to his average self. And it was an anomaly because they targeted him 13 times last week, and I just don't see that kind of volume, happening again.
So yeah, and it's a good comparison. So we know Deshaun Watson's gonna ball out. We know Stafford's gonna ball out. At least we're very confident in that. But we never know when Will Fuller's gonna ball out. We never know when Marv Jones is gonna ball out, and that's the problem. It's like we know these guys throw a little bit. We know the quarterback's been playing well, but I don't trust this wide receiver. I need a more consistent wide receiver. Why can't we all just own Michael Thomas? Just that consistent
or Godwin
wide receiver. Oh well, the God of all wins, of course.
Yes, win God.
That's only a dream that you guys can imagine to have Godwin. Only I can have Godwin in multiple leagues.
That's true. I only have him 1, but I'm very happy with
Yeah.
One. So the next guy on my list, a lot of people probably see this name like, wow, you'd be crazy to trade Darren Waller, the Walrus. He just went off last week against Green Bay, and he had 32 points because he had 2 touchdowns and 126 yards, and he looked every bit the tight end one that you expected him to be. But the matter of the fact is, this is his highest value as well. And now that Tyrell Williams is back in the Raiders, he's gonna, he's not gonna get as many targets. It's fair to say. And I'm not saying you should trade Darren Waller, but just shop him around, see what's out there. Because sometimes people get enamored with like the name, Darren Waller. Like they really want a good tight end, an elite tight end. They haven't had one all year, and they'll throw you some crazy deals for a guy like Darren Waller who's coming off, a huge performance. So
I even told this guy to make a bad trade, basically, to get Darren Waller today.
You did.
Because he had Will Disley and the other tight ends I don't remember. Darren Fells.
So like, so this is exactly the situation.
And I was like, do it. He had, he had like a stud, and I just was like, just do it. Because he had Devontae Adams. I was like, Devontae Adams will be back within 2 weeks, I hope. He'll be back soon. Just do it and get well. Like, I don't want this guy starting Darren Fells every week.
But you know that last week was his only touchdown game. He had 2 touchdowns. Before that, he had none.
None?
So that's gotta be an.
Was it none?
He had none.
Because I know he didn't have any
That's what I'm
first
saying.
week. I know he had a dud. Well, his value's at an all-time high.
That's the
So
point.
yeah,
Yeah.
even if he still balls out and is a top 3 tight end, that's what he is now.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it is
Right.
at an all-time high. So
Yeah. So you can get a
yeah,
king's ransom for Darren Waller right now.
yeah.
So just shop him around. Just see what you can get.
Who can we get for Waller? Honestly, you might be able to get Hopkins.
You
You
might.
might.
Yeah. Like that's how high. Maybe Cooper Cup even
Get
because he's
Cooper
low right
Cup. It
now.
will if the guy is like if he's a guy who was like 3-0 and now he's like 4-3 and
Yeah. Exactly.
he had Will Disley and he was talking trash, or he had he drafted Njoku or just whatever, like the tight end
Anyone who
suck.
has a bad tight end situation, that's who would want Waller.
Because
Pretty
those
simple.
guys are looking at you. They're like, wow, I wish I had that Waller on my team. Like that would be
Right.
really, my team would be perfect. And then boom, they get a trade offer. And who knows? Be like, hey man, I got other offers waiting. I don't have all day.
Yep. Get creative, guys, because that's what is fun about fantasy sometimes is wheeling and dealing, getting creative, looking around the landscape of the other teams in your league and seeing who has a hole, who needs what, and then being able to, use that to your advantage.
Tyler says RB2 value for Waller. I said no, low end RB1. Aim higher.
Oh, aim
Why
higher.
would you
Yeah.
want to trade? Why would you want to get RB2? All
Why
running
would you
backs
want
suck this year. If you're not like one of the big ballers, you suck. Yeah, get a RB2. No, we want a RB1. Who's a
Who do you think?
low end RB1 you can get? At least try to get
Connor maybe?
Le'Veon Bell. You don't
Oh
like him,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
on Bell
yeah,
for
Connor.
sure.
Yeah, Connor.
Connor's like realistic, I think.
Mark Ingram's too low.
Yeah, that's too
You
low.
can get
That's
Mark
too low.
Ingram and another player though too.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Throw in a
But
receiver
that's good. We
in there.
mentioned Mark Ingram. That's like we get like that's not like way too low, but too low. So you would
Marlon
need
Mack?
Marlon Mack. Perfect. Yes. Low end
Perfect. That
RB1.
nailed it.
There you go. And that's like
Nailed
an
it.
easy. You can make that easily
That's
happen.
low hanging fruit for you
Yeah,
trade
for
experts
sure,
out there,
dude.
savvy traders out there.
Marlon Mack on a decent team, good O
Mhm.
line. Yeah, for sure.
That's the type of targets you got. So let's end on this. Chase Edmonds, the hottest name in fantasy this week. So obviously he's on this list because he had 3 touchdowns last week, and he was the RB1 in the running back position, and that's just not going to happen again. This week he plays the Saints, who have a tough run defense. Then week 9 he plays the Niners, and then week 11 he plays the Niners again, and then we don't know what's happening with David Johnson. Is he coming back? Is he not? And then they just signed 2 more backup running backs. So Chase Edmonds, you can get something good for him right now if you trade him now before he plays this next game, or even if he does do good next game.
Chase Edmonds was involved in the most trade questions today.
Yes,
I've got
for
like
sure.
15% of all trade questions had Chase Edmonds in it, at least.
Yes.
Really more actually.
If you have him, you are in the power position. You can make trades because people want to chase, no pun intended, the points of week 7, and they might never get that again, realistically. So,
And I'm very proud of the Couch fam on this, that a lot of people I've talked to today don't only have Chase Edmonds, but they have David Johnson, so they listen to me.
wow,
And
smart.
what was even more next level was the one guy who watched our couch draft video was like, "Why didn't you draft Chase Edmonds?" I was like, "He's like you should." He's like, and I picked him up, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm just giving your own advice that you gave on the last video." I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "That was dumb of me. Why didn't I do that?" And I was like, "You see, I got Chase Edmonds in that league, so."
Yeah, you're smart because otherwise you would have been in bad
Well, thanks
shape.
to the couch fam that gave me the advice that I gave them, but I forgot. So thank you to that. That's why.
Thank you for being good listeners.
Yeah, he's like, just following the advice you gave us. I was like, oh yeah, I did say that. What's wrong?
Someone
with
was
me?
like, someone showed me their lineup, and then they benched Odell, because I had him benched on my start sit list, and I'm like, why do you have him benched? And he's like, well, you have him benched on your start sit list, so I'm like, dude, people really follow this like it's like the gospel. It's crazy.
You see a ton of people. So what happened was I posted your article on IG stories, And
Oh
then within
wow.
a split second, someone said no, like I forgot to put the link, and someone said no link. And
Oh
then I was
my
like, that, yeah. And
gosh.
I made a bunch of errors. And so we had to, you made an error. I made like 2 errors.
Yeah.
It was like, screw,
I'm only
but we,
human. We don't use AI
we
here.
fixed it right away. But it's just to know
Yeah.
that someone obviously has notifications turned on, because within seconds
Yes.
they messaged me and I was like, hey, thanks, man. I totally forgot to put the swipe up link, put that in. So everybody reads that. Everyone's waiting for that. You haven't been late on any of them this year, but when you were late last year once or twice, this guy's
Whoa.
like, hey, where's Mike? Hey, Mike with
Yeah.
the list. It's like,
Yeah.
people are waiting. TikTok,
Like
like.
pitchforks and like yeah, it was bad. But it's just crazy that people are like that, like strict, like, oh, Mike said bench Odell, I'm benching him. Like, no questions asked. So I was like, oh, okay.
What about
Love
that
it.
thing you tagged me in, the Belichick going up to some of the wide receivers, such as Odell, telling him like, "Have a good day. You're not
I would do the
gonna
same.
be getting a lot of catches this game. You're not gonna be doing much."
I don't think he's going to do anything after what I saw against the Jets and then what I saw in person against the Niners.
Well, I like to think of
So,
things different. So I took a step back and I'm like, what's the
okay.
point of him? Because everything he does is to win. He's not like a
Who, Bill Belichick?
troller. He's not like, yeah. He does
Yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah,
in
yeah.
order to increase his chances of win. Remember how we were playing
Yeah.
DFS last week? You're like, don't get mad at me. I was like, dude, I'm professional. I was like, all I'm trying to do is increase my chances of winning. Sometimes you
Right,
win
right.
big, sometimes you lose big. And
Yeah.
we made the good decision by starting Michelle.
I told you.
It was great.
Thank
And
you.
so
Worked out this time.
I think he does that because everyone knows that he's going to try to stop their best player, which is, likely going to be Odell. But think about the advantage, right? Because when he does that, most people know that already, right? You're like, we kind of know, like we thought that he probably would try to stop Odell. That would be
Well,
the
can we
game
both
plan.
agree that Odell's probably like the least like mentally strong of all the players on the Browns? Like he's always like sensitive. You know, he always thinks the NFL's out to get him for his
It could be.
accessories.
He could be easy to like get off his
Yeah,
game,
he
yeah.
has to be.
But here's the thing. I think there's always a small chance that he doesn't do that. And so whichever way he goes is going to give him an advantage, because he's like, am I worried about the, triple coverage? Am I not? So like, no matter what, when he says that, it's not, it's not giving away anything. Because I remember when he faced the Chiefs the first time, he made sure to shut down Kelsey. So every time whoever was closest to him that lined up on the line of scrimmage would jam him, and it could be a defensive end like Trey Flowers. And then the next time they played the Chiefs, they didn't do that at all. And so, yeah, the plan is always take out the best player, but it's like, who is that? Could be Chubb. Maybe they don't do that. They're always like, it's always a mind game. Because there is that chance that they don't like completely focus on shutting down Odell.
Well, their strength is definitely their corners. So with Stephen Gilmore and the McCourty twins, they can definitely shut down Odell and Landry, which I actually definitely foresee them doing. So I think the only way they have a chance is if Chubb is able to break free for some long runs and get in the end zone, or get out the backfield and catch the ball and then get out into space. I think that's their best chance.
There's just really no other starting 3 cornerbacks playing better than
No.
the Patriots. Right now we have Rams are really good, but I mean that's only been one game with Ramsey, so I can't even think about giving them the crown yet. But I'm just saying they're good now.
Patriots for sure have the
Well,
crown.
all three Patriots are playing like all pro. Like just playing out of it. And that's why
this could be the best secondary since that Ravens Super Bowl.
No, dude,
defense.
It's crazy because they did the split zero thing, cover zero thing, and it was all 3 cornerbacks were doing a pretty good job. Like they don't really need help. Like that's how good all 3 of the corners are. It's insane.
If the Niners corners can stop him, the Pats corners can definitely stop him. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
We shut him down. We shut him and Landry down.
Yeah, they didn't.
I
remember Baker had -2 fantasy points, so I don't.
Odell might have -5.
One of Odell's biggest play was the very first play where he threw the ball.
They could easily do to the Browns what they just did to the Jets. Like that's real. That's a real outcome.
I don't want to believe it, but I just posted on was it my Instagram stories? It was Baker Mayfield is like 31st in completion percentage, like 32nd in something else, and 31 in something else. Like it's some like, and then the Patriots in all three of those categories were number one. So percentage allowed, passer rating allowed, and all these. I was like, they're all number one, and Baker's almost at the bottom of everyone. And I was like, wow. I mean, he's been playing worse than he's been playing worse than Darnold until the ghost game.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like this could be worse. This could be worse.
God, it's scary.
It is scary, spooky.
Thank God I got the Patriots D in one. They're really like, if not for them, my team would not be good.
They're the fantasy MVP.
Yeah, and I saw this one post. I gotta re-look at that, but they're essentially scoring the same as like an RB6 or like a wide receiver 4, tight end 1. Yeah, like what? Yeah. They actually are an RB1. Like they technically are like a high end RB1. Like what the heck?
Yeah.
Jeez, absolutely went off. Let's do a Q&A. LBC is here.
Ooh.
Sup, brain? Losing my patience with Montgomery. Should I drop him?
You should. Maybe.
I would say no, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, if it's a 10 team league, maybe you drop him.
He's definitely droppable, and also Damian Williams is droppable.
Did y'all go over touch dance for MKF yet? Oh, I got scared of the dance, and I went with the fantasy challenge, and I did. Yeah. Chris Carson, Saquon, and Bell for the challenge.
Nice. That was good.
So, yeah. Okay. What was that? Oh, yeah. And then drop Montgomery for Geis. I don't have an IR spot. I have Saquon, Carson, Royce Freeman, and Jamal Williams.
I don't hate it. It's like a lottery ticket, basically, and I think the potential of Geis in a run-heavy offense is good as long as he's healthy and he's ready to go.
I'm giving Montgomery one more chance. Don't tell anyone I told you. I'm ashamed to say it.
I am not supporting that at all.
Not telling. I'd keep him another week.
I want no part of the Montgomery bandwagon anymore. Forever.
Juju or Lockett this week?
Lockett.
I'd have to go with Lockett against the Falcons.
Yeah, that's a great matchup, by the way.
Russell Wilson, could be MVP. He's playing out of his mind, going against the Falcons, his number one wide receiver. I'll take that. Bears schedule gets better. That doesn't make me feel better, unfortunately, Jorge.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still hopeful, but this last game was just a cry. I had a ton of YouTube haters, and today I told them on a video that they were right. They were right to hate on me. I was wrong, and Montgomery was
Hussein is no longer a Montgomery truther. He's done.
I'm a Montgomery hopeful. I'm hoping for the miracle. I'm going out in a field and praying on the millennium that the world doesn't end. And see what happens when we hit year 2000, guys. Hopefully we'll all be here playing fantasy football, and Josh Gordon will be putting up major points.
One day.
Juju or Ridley?
Juju. Just matchup because of matchup.
Matt Ryan is hurt.
He might play.
He might. Yeah. Doesn't it have a lot to do with this?
Yeah, that is really the answer.
So the answer lies within the Matt Ryan lore. So read that lore and see what you find.
Follow the scroll.
follow the Matty Ice artifact. Look into it. Unlock it with your mind. Montgomery 2 TDs this week. I feel don't tease me like that. Don't do that to me.
Can we stop talking about Montgomery?
Don't.
We need to move on from him.
Yeah, there's more Montgomery. If only you guys could post Montgomery memes in this live chat, wouldn't that be great? I gave up Melvin Gordon and Pat. I don't like where this is going. And Pat's D for Keenan Allen and Jets D. Did I win the trade?
No.
Kind of regret it.
Maybe.
No,
Yeah,
he gave up the Patriots D.
But he got Keenan Allen, though.
Keenan
That's
Allen
a huge
sucks
upgrade.
now. It's over.
But Melvin Gordon sucks.
Yes.
Way worse.
Yes, he sucks.
I'd rather have Keenan Allen by a long shot. But yeah, you're right. But giving up Pat C, you lost, I think.
Melvin Gordon, don't you wish you got fantasy points for business decisions, like making business decisions on the field? Like, oh, he avoided that skirmish. One fantasy point. He didn't get injured because he didn't die for it. Like, that's Melvin Gordon right now, by the way, guys. So that's what he's doing, and I bet he's not going to get a huge contract next year. It's so bad. No. He's probably so depressed right now.
He lost money. He lost a lot of money.
He's like, thank God I did those terrible commercials. Thank God I was on Ballers because I suck.
At least he got some acting credits.
Oh, so yeah, that's a lot of money, and it's going to be more
That'll
than what
help
he's
in
making.
L.A. when his career ends. He lives in L.A. at least.
Dude, how about if he just reported to camp? Everyone would be like, wow, we can get a real running. You know, like, everyone would be so juiced. Be like, oh, wow, the Chargers have more than 20 fans.
Or just took the offer that they gave him.
Which was great. 10 mil. Yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, 10 million. You hold out a little bit. The Chargers are like, yeah, this guy. All right, we'll give in a little bit. And then you take it. 10 million. And it was probably a little bit more than 10 million. You could have got a little bit more. So whatever, 10.5, whatever, 10.3. Amazing. You just got paid. Now what do you got? Nothing.
A lot of questions and doubt. That's what you got. And haters.
I don't get this sauce. Are you asking who to start? Mixon, David Montgomery?
No.
Oh, yeah, he is. No. Or Singletary at flex.
Singletary.
Well, he plays the Eagles.
So? Are they supposed to be good on defense?
You're right. Just start.
I'm getting lit up every week.
Should he start David Montgomery?
No.
Against the Chargers?
I feel like this is like Groundhog's Day. Stop. I'm like getting tortured.
Montgomery Day?
Montgomery
Look,
Day.
man. No. Look, man. Look, okay, Mixon's a must bench, correct?
Yes.
You got to start.
It's week 7 or 8.
You got to start David Montgomery over Singletary.
Yes, that is true.
How do you start Singletary against? I mean,
I don't know. You just do and hope for the best. It happens. People have bounce back games.
Well, we just got to answer this question. I'm going with Montgomery. Okay. What's your answer?
I told you, Singletary. Okay. I'm staying away from anything Montgomery related for the rest of the season until he proves it that he can actually play well.
How many games does he have to prove it, would you say?
1 game. I'm supposed to see some life. Like, if he gets 2 touchdowns, I'm sold. That would like, I'm all aboard again. Just 2 touchdowns, and I'll be all aboard.
I got an easy one. Jax asks, Aaron Jones or John Brown at flex? It's Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Answer.
That's easy.
It's so easy.
That was a good one. I need a layup.
Oh, and when we were talking about Waller, someone gave an amazing suggestion.
Okay.
Aaron Jones. That's a great trade target.
There you go. Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's right in
so perfect. Because I like Aaron Jones more than Mac. So it's like, boom.
Yes.
Right there.
Boom. PPR especially. Boom.
Someone wrote something about Montgomery. It's going to make me cry.
No,
Let's
stop
go to the
saying
next.
that name.
Someone else talking about Montgomery. Chargers D is bad against the run. I'm a season ticket holder. I've seen it time and time again. Play him.
Okay. All right. Not him. It's Nagy that I don't trust.
And the quarterback, too.
It's Trubisky's.
We've seen it many times when the quarterback comes in, completely changes the team. Like the running back, even the defense plays better sometimes. And that's definitely the case. Oh, let's talk about. I got a topic we can talk about really quick before
please shift gears.
Yeah, you guys, all this Montgomery talk's getting Mike, very agitated here. I mean, there's 20 comments and 18 of them are about Montgomery.
Getting gout. I'm getting like onset gout from the stress.
When's the trade deadline? It's coming up in a week or something. October 29th. NFL. Hopefully. Trade deadline. Well, let's talk about that. AJ Green.
Raiders.
He's going to the Raiders?
That's my prediction.
Hey
Bold
guys, I
prediction.
got something right. October 29th is the trade deadline.
Cool. So end of this month. Wow, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming. That's why we've seen all these trades. So AJ Green,
Yeah.
you're saying to the Raiders. What do you guys think in the live chat? Where do you think AJ Green's going to end up? Because almost sure. I mean, they need to trade him. They should try to trade him.
What about this? Robbie Anderson to the Chiefs.
Uh, they don't need to do that.
What about Robbie Anderson to the Jaguars?
Isn't he like
No?
DJ Chark?
No, DJ Chark's way better than Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, he is.
Robbie Anderson's like, you go deep, and then if you break through, I'll throw it to you. That's all he can do. He has no route tree.
Is Kenny Stills is better than Robbie Anderson,
better.
huh? As a talent.
Much better. I got him. I'm starting him.
Because I think we see that Stills is actually pretty good when he's on a good team. It was on the Saints.
or even on the Texans. Put Robbie Anderson on the Texans even and put him as Will Fuller's role because that's basically the same type of role.
Robbie Anderson
Makes you think.
Especially if they lose this week. Is that before the 29th? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, who else is gonna get traded?
They said who else? So who is likely to get traded? Someone on a bad team. Think about bad. Oh, so Dolphins, Kenyon Drake could. So we are.
Yeah, it's Kenyon Drake. Yeah.
Kenyon Drake's a good candidate.
Bucks maybe could get him.
Who?
Buccaneers.
Oh yeah. Buccaneers. Yeah. And I think that's it.
And that's why in my 20-team league, I just picked up Kalen Ballage because if Drake gets traded, then I have a crappy running back.
Nice.
then I have one that's not absolutely horrible, just crappy. So it's a 20-team league. It's like you got a running back who sees the field, you're good.
There's gotta be one more person. I feel like.
I think you got the Drake.
Okay, I think that
odds on Gordon getting traded.
Oh, Josh Gordon or Melvin?
Melvin.
No, Melvin can't.
He destroyed his. Like if he was balling right now, it's a different scenario. Like why would you?
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything. You might as well just play him and then either tank with him or
he's in a weird scenario because the ideal thing is like you trade for him, then you sign him to a long-term deal. So someone's gonna give up an asset, get a guy like Melvin Gordon, and then pay him more. And it's like, what do you like? You're giving up your entire future on Melvin Gordon. I don't like it. See, the Texans did that with a left tackle. I mean, that's a desperate move. It's a crazy one, but it's like. It's really important. You obviously need to improve your O-line or else your quarterback's going to die. So I get that. But for Melvin Gordon, to do something like that for Melvin Gordon, I don't get it. I mean, I know you wouldn't have to trade a first-round pick, but I see it as like the same thing. You're giving up a good amount to get a running back who you probably don't even want. You think anyone picks up AB?
No.
I haven't even been doing research. People have been telling me about this, and I just never looked it up because
it's not happening this year. Give it up. Stop asking about him. He's not playing.
I feel like we need a lot of steps to happen before a team goes, all right, I'm signing this maniac.
So many steps. So many things have to go in his way, and I don't think anything this year has gone.
We're at step 0, so I feel like. That's why I've heard stuff, and I just didn't look it up because it's not. I feel like it's not on my radar. Oh, there's a good one. Here's a good one. Actually, this is the one this is actually the main one, other than AJ Green. Was what's the dude? Trubisky sucks. So, do they trade for Cam Newton or Mariota?
No, Mariota's not relevant anymore. He's just a
yeah, but I mean, do you? God, Mariota sucks.
No, you don't. Like no one can.
No, you know.
For Mariota, like you want to lose.
You know, I'm a Cam hater too, but like Mariota sucks.
He's an upgrade over Trubisky for sure, and I think he actually fits that Bears image really well. He looks like a bear to me, like bear quarterback to me. You know what I mean? I think that would be a good fit, and I definitely think his time in Carolina is over. Kyle Allen looks like the future there and the present.
He's running that offense. I mean, you can't deny they're winning. It's
Yeah, this isn't a Teddy Bridgewater or Breeze situation. This is the guy now.
Yeah, Breeze, one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. for your time, but we must send you
What
off
do
to
you
Chicago.
real? Okay. I get it. Makes sense. All right. In theory, we're talking on the podcast. He ha ha. But Cam Newton on the Bears, you really think he can turn it
Yeah.
around?
I don't think he turned around, but I think he gives them much more hope than Trubisky.
Are they
Because I think
better with him? Let's say Cam is healthy. Are they
yes,
better with
yes,
Cam?
they have to be. Trubisky is a horrible, horrible bust, and I'm glad that we traded with the Bears on draft day. Even though we got Solomon Thomas, at least we got assets for them to move down or move up to get Trubisky, which was horrible at number 2 overall. They could have had Mahomes, which would have drastically altered the franchise, or they could have had Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So they messed up, set their franchise back potentially. And
That was a
yeah,
wag. They traded with the Niners to move up to go get.
traded up to get Trubisky.
I knew they were picking Trubisky. I did not like, this is a good one, but I knew it, and that was funny that none of the people on the the draft commentators and Alice, none of them knew who they were trading up to get. I was like, well, it has to be a quarterback, and everyone rated Trubisky up there. Like, a lot of them had him number 1. Some people had I had Watson number 1. I'm not even an expert.
How do you pick Trubisky over a national champion from Clemson in Deshaun Watson?
Oh yeah, Pat McAfee said it. Deshaun Watson is an athletic quarterback. I'm putting in quotes, athletic quarterback. It's like, dude, what? Like, what? I don't know what they were watching. I don't even watch much college football. I was like, this guy looks like a star. Deshaun Watson.
There was nothing that you saw that would not indicate stardom. Trubisky, you were like projecting stardom still.
Yeah, you were like, this guy looks. We've seen flashes. He looks good, but we only saw this flash. Is he like Jamarcus Russell?
It was like North Carolina. He played at North Carolina. He was like Daniel Jones, basically. Like no one saw him play. They were just like, oh yeah, he was good in workouts, but like no one knew. Like Deshaun Watson played in the SEC against the best teams week in and week out, won a national championship. He was clearly a superstar quarterback in the making.
That's crazy. They traded up to get him too. It was just
And then to add insult to injury, pass on Mahomes as well.
We're gonna do a skit with the 49ers. Like me and you were gonna hop on the phone and be like, "Oh, you're gonna that's what you're giving us for to move up one spot." Hold on. They start laughing hold on, like, whoa, guys, you won't believe what this guy just did. Bears want to move up one spot. They're like, oh, they're going to get Solomon Thomas. No, they're going to get Trubisky. They're like, what? No way.
How many picks? They're going to move up and give us another 4th rounder? That's crazy. So thank you, guys. Thank you, Bears organization, GM, and owner. We thank you.
Where do you think Josh Gordon will go? Asks somebody. Cole.
I think he's going to go to the Niners for some reason. I don't know why.
Bronk.
Okay, so he's going to go to the Niners or Dolphins. Those are the only
I just said that because it's Colorado. They got some lenient laws out there.
So do we.
So does this California. Some team will get. How does that even? I don't understand. Honestly, I don't know how that works. You go on IR, and then you clear. Like, why do they even cut him?
Oh, okay, but like, is he only? So what I'm reading about this is that the Pats put him on their IR, right? But that doesn't mean he's like on everyone's IR. I don't think.
But he's a Patriot. You can't just leave a team. That's the part that I don't get. So like, how did they? If they don't release him, then. Or like, why they release him to a team that can help another team? Like, why don't they just hold on to him?
Because he wants to play, I think. Like he thinks he's healthy.
But if you're a team, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to let him go?
Like, you mean the Patriots?
Just to be nice. That's the only reason, to be nice?
Well, because you're not using him, and he wants to continue his career and play for somebody. But
so you want to be nice and help another team. That's the part that I don't understand. Is like, if he's on IR, someone explain this to me.
They were saying on some article like the worst teams will get the first crack at him if he is placed on IR and he's basically a free agent.
I saw this article said he has a clear IR. He has to clear what clear? I get clear in waivers, but he's not released. So I have no idea how. Like, I don't understand how this. You're on IR. You're still a Patriot. I don't understand how another team could just get you.
Maybe if you're put on IR, like in the because there's a designated before the season and then maybe during the season. And if you're designated during the season, maybe it's like you can get released or it's like a free agent. I don't know. That's my theory.
I don't know. And his contracts, I know this is his last year. I'm pretty sure. So it's like,
Someone find out.
yeah, someone find out exactly.
Some smart couch fan find out.
I'm reading the report, so I'm just going off a fantasy perspective. Like that's what I'm going off of. I'm like, all right, he's on IR. He could be healthy really soon, maybe within a couple weeks, and he could be on another team. I'm seeing a lot of reports. I don't know why. I don't know how. That's just what I'm seeing, and so he might play for another team this year. I don't know. Is Jameis done in the NFL? I saw reports Tampa is done.
Probably.
Let's see.
Yeah,
this is a good. This is his year. Like if he has a bad year, then he's done.
I think he's done.
He's gonna get more chances. Let's see.
I just don't. I think if they have any opportunity to find like a good, like some quarterback with potential, like a younger quarterback with potential, they're definitely gonna move on. Like, because they have to sign him to a big deal if they're gonna.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he has this year. They're not gonna do anything. Let's see how he does against the Titans.
Not good.
He threw 400 yards last game.
He just
and 5 picks.
Yeah, it's over.
All right, guys, that's it. We do have a Patreon for those of you that did want to support. We're doing, what do we got on the Patreon as perks? You get a shout out on the next video. Ooh. You get a shout out on the Twitter page. You get my weekly ranked waivers, the written form. You get my DFS picks, my DFS notes for every week. And
I will draw a caricature drawing of you.
A caricature drawing, I guess.
Yeah.
Mike could do that of you.
I'm an artist.
And sign it, too. He'll sign it.
I'll sign it. Yeah.
And then just put a couch at the bottom. Put like a really tiny couch.
Limited time only.
Limited time only. For this week only.
Yeah. This
You'll
week
also
only.
get a caricature. But most importantly, you'll get to be able to support your favorite creators, Fantasy Couch, Mike and I. How much is the Patreon? It is a low. What is for a low price of only $5 per month? You'll be able to support the couch.
That's like 1 cup of coffee that you get
per month.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah, that's super cheap. It helps us out, and you also get access to our old cringy videos from 2008.
And we might make some new cringy videos if you guys subscribe to our Patreon.
Can you mail the drawing to us? That's what's cool. It's easy to mail. It's a piece of paper.
I will mail it, and it will be like with the like Sharpie. It'll be very nice, very creative, and I am an artist, so this is legitimate.
Well, there you guys go. We do have the Patreon, patreon.com/fantasycouch, and it should probably appear here on the page if you're watching the video. We'll have it linked. And, make sure you guys are subscribed to both YouTube channels, Fantasy Couch and Fantasy Couch Podcast. You can also subscribe to the audio form of the podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, many other platforms. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if you did not. And we'll catch you on the next one.